where the Trump administration is considering two major proposals that could have significant implications for America's relationship with its partners and its neighbors. According to 6 U.S. and European officials briefed on the matter, the Trump administration is weighing a proposal to withdraw thousands of U.S. troops from Europe, raising concerns about the continued aggressive stance the administration appears to be taking toward its European allies, especially against the backdrop of Russia's continued assault on Ukraine. Separately, the administration is also looking at carrying out possible drone strikes on Mexican drug cartels as it ramps up its efforts to combat criminal gangs and drug trafficking. Joining me now, NBC News senior national security correspondent Courtney Kube at the Pentagon. She had the exclusive reporting on both of these stories. So, Courtney, what more do we know about this proposal to reduce the U.S. force posture in Europe? Is there consensus within the Pentagon on this proposal?
There's not. And what we do know is that this is consistent with what we've heard out of the Trump administration, frankly, since inauguration and probably even before that. And that is their effort here to make Europe take a larger part of their own defense of Europe. We heard that from Vice President Vance when he was in Munich. We've heard it from Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth. And now, according to these officials, one of the options on the table would be to potentially pull as many as 10,000 of these troops in Eastern Europe out of there and bring them to other areas. Now, these are part of the 20,000 or so troops that President Biden moved forward into Eastern Europe when Russia invaded Ukraine. The idea was to have additional presence there as a deterrent and as support to the allies, the NATO allies in that area. Now, these discussions are not final. It's not clear that this is absolutely going to happen, but the officials we spoke with said this is very much under discussion. Today, during a budget hearing on the Hill, your territory, Ryan, the commander of U.S. European Command and Supreme Allied Commander of Europe, General Cavoli, was asked about the idea of pulling some U.S. troops back from Europe, and he gave a pretty candid answer. Here's what he had to say.
In 2022, we originally surged forces forward. We have periodically reviewed the force structure at both the military level and the policy level. And I have consistently recommended throughout that period to maintain the forces we surged forward. And I would continue to do so now if asked, yeah.
But the reality, Ryan, is even with those recommendations, the policy people may not agree.
And you have some more exclusive reporting today, Courtney, on potential military strikes on drug cartels in Mexico. What do we know about these plans? And I would have to imagine there are a lot of concerns that strikes like this would violate international laws. Break it all down for us.
Yeah, and the idea here, and this is in the early discussion, is the Trump administration would potentially send armed drones into Mexico to go after cartel leaders. Now, this could include not only targeting individuals, leaders of the cartel, but also some of their logistical hubs. And the goal here is to stop the drugs from moving from Mexico into the U.S. From the beginning, the Trump administration has talked about the security at the border as being one of the biggest, if not the biggest, national security priority for this administration. We've already seen them step up surveillance flights over Mexico. That has been in cooperation with the Mexican authorities. And the officials told us the goal here is if they do move forward with these drone strikes, it would be with the cooperation or coordination of the Mexican government. But at this point, Ryan, it's not really clear whether that coordination has actually begun or those talks. We did, after our story published, we heard from the president of Mexico, and she said that she has made it clear to the U.S. government that she doesn't see this as the way to actually deal with the cartel problem. We reached out to the National Security Council for a comment on this. They didn't respond. And actually, at the White House briefing today, our own Gabe Gutierrez asked Caroline Leavitt about this story, and she referred it from the podium, referred it back to the NSC as well. Ryan.
Okay. Courtney Kube, breaking stories right and left. We appreciate it, Courtney. Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.